Alright, it's Henry again, and today I'm going to be taking a break from Gunpla and doing a Transformers review. This is the newest version of the Supreme Class Unicron figure. There's been a bunch of different versions of this, dating back from the Transformers Armada line back in 2003. But this is the newest version Hasbro has released in 2011. And I'll get into the details of the figure later on in the review. But this is the box. As you can see, it's got a very nice window display. Got Unicron written in kind of silver foil here on the side. And it's basically got a window on three sides, the front and the two sides, and the top actually. Let's see, you got a kind of a weird looking Unicron illustration here on the front. You got Decepticon, even though he's not really a Decepticon. I don't know why they put that there. On the side, we've got some info about Unicron, and on the back we get lots of images, and Gundog doesn't like this giant box. She's barking at it. Anyway, basically just info showing off the features of the figure, and again on the side of the box pretty much the same thing, showing off the features. You can see how reflective this box is. The entire thing is encased in clear plastic. So it's a very, very shiny box. Anyway, it's kind of hard to get a scale of just how big this figure is, since there's nothing to really compare it to in this shot. So, here is your standard deluxe class Transformer. And as you can see, Unicron is an absolute giant. And yes, I do realize he's supposed to be holding a Minicon right there, but I've already taken this out of the package and put it back in. The Minicon's in there. I just displayed him without it. Alright, and this is what Unicron is going to look like out of the package. A very, very nice looking, very large and imposing action figure. I guess we'll get the size comparisons out of the way first. Once again, here is Deluxe Class Sunstreaker next to Unicron. He's absolutely tiny. And just using a ruler, well, that's the centimeter side. At the horns and everything, he comes in at about 15.5 inches tall. And for you Gundam fans, here he is compared to a 1/60th scale perfect grade Gundam. As you can see, he's quite a bit larger. Alright, and as you might expect, Unicron is such a large figure that I'm going to struggle to keep most of him in the camera frame throughout this review, so you'll just have to bear with me. Anyway, like I said earlier, the first Unicron figure came out in the Transformers Armada toy line, and then they made another version for Energon, and there was a special edition that was clear green, and then they repackaged the Armada Unicron in for some of the classics Transformers series, even though it was the same figure. And just recently, Takara came out with a new version, which was the same exact body, which you see here. It just had a remolded head to be more accurate to Transformers the movie. And the coloring on that one was a bit different than what you see here. It had more of a bright orangey yellow, and it had light gray instead of silver for things like the face and the hands and the feet. And it had kind of a straight gray, neutral gray, rather than this kind of bluish gray which you see here. And the panel lines on the entire thing were all inked in. And this is basically that exact same figure, just a recolor. This is the Hasbro North American version. As you can see, they've used kind of this metallic goldish color for the yellow parts, and it actually looks kind of nice. I wasn't crazy about it at first, but it is growing on me. They've used silver for the face and the hands and the feet and stuff like the chest, and they've gone with this bluish gray for the darker parts. Now, there have been some reports of quality control issues with this figure, most notably things like the wings not connecting right. What else? Some people have talked about the feet parts being wrong, and the most often one you hear is the teeth on the front of the planet mode not lining up properly. But I'm happy to report that my Unicron doesn't have any of those issues, so it seems that I got my Unicron from a good batch. So that's definitely something to be thankful for. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with Unicron's articulation, and after that we'll do the gimmicks and the transformation. Okay, so the head it actually has like a locking mechanism. It kind of locks into place, and you've got these little metal pins, that's for the light up eyes. The head can go up and down, and I swear it could rotate. Yeah, there we go. The head can rotate 360. It's a very tight joint though, so you gotta work with it a bit to get it to rotate. The arms will go 360. His arms will come out about that far. It's important to note that the shoulder armor is made of a very soft plastic. It's very, very flexible, which actually helps. Whoops, he's doing the splits on me. Which actually helps when you bring the arm out that far. But I mean, it doesn't really hinder the figure at all. It doesn't. I see no problems with it being made out of flexible plastic. Anyway, you've got 360 below the shoulder. The elbows are going to bend 90 degrees. The wrists go 360, and you've got posable fingers. The thumb is going to go up and down on a hinge like that, and the fingers are able to come out, and each one is got one joint in the middle of it, so you can pull off some pretty good poses with the hands. It's about like your average Masterpiece Transformers figure. There's, let's see, rotation at the waist, 360. These little, let me move the camera down. These little skirt armors can go up and down on the side and the front. Oops. There are no skirt armors on the back. The hips are in a very loud ratcheting mechanism. They can go out and they can go all the way back because there's no back skirt armor. They can go all the way out to the side, pretty much a full 90 degrees. The knees can bend about 90 degrees as well. Move the camera down again. There's 360 rotation below the knee. And for the feet, let's see, they've got quite a bit of articulation in the ankles. They can go down and all the way forward, and then the feet can bend like so. So you can get something like that, and this toe part can rotate. Plus you've got side-to-side movement. No rotation at the ankle though. And let's see. Let's go up here to the wings. The wings have several joints on them. You've got this little part that connects here, which can go up and down, and then the wings can rotate, and they're on their own little, this center one's on a hinge joint. That can go up and down. The top one can't go up and, oh yeah, it can go up and down, I forgot. And they can rotate kind of independently, so pretty much anywhere you need them to go, they can go. The only real problem is getting them to stay there. I find that you put them up like this, and they just want to come back down. A lot of it has to do with these two big pieces of kibble on the back. A lot of times I honestly just leave this part off and just display Unicorn without these big things, and I find that he looks just fine without those. So that's about it for Unicron's articulation. Pretty simple articulation, but then again not bad articulation. I also forgot to mention these old horns can move around a bit, rotate right there, but that's more for the transformation. Now on to his gimmicks. Let's see, first we've got a button on the top of the head. Let me turn the lights out for this. We press that button, the eyes light up and blink red. Kind of wish they were green, because Unicron's eyes are supposed to be green, but I guess they just left the red LED in there from the Transformers Armada figure. Also, similarly, on this right hand, which is posable, it's made of a weird color I don't think I've seen on a Transformer before. It's like, it's clear and silver at the same time. I don't think I've ever seen clear silver before, but if you press the hand in, it'll light up like so. And as you can see, the red LED will kind of go through the clear parts of the hand and make the whole hand light up, kinda. It actually looks better in real life than it does on camera. Bright lights. Okay. So those are the two light up features. Now, another feature of the Unicron figure, which carries over from Transformers Armada, is that you can take a Minicon, and he's got several little Minicon connectors all over him. I think the box claims 27, doesn't it? Let's see. Yep, 27. Anyway, a couple of those Minicon ports will activate special features. For example, there's one right here on Unicron's back, and you just take that and plug it in there, and when you do, this happens. Chest opens up, missile fires out, and Unicron's eyes start blinking red. And they do that with these little metal contacts right here, these metal pins that go up to the head. Whenever you, that's how it tells the eyes to light up whenever you fire the giant missile out of the chest. Now, in case that was too fast for you to catch, this is what the missile looks like. It's actually got a spring-loaded thingy in it, so it starts out like that, and then opens up when it fires out. And then you can just plug it back in there. It's a very, very noisy mechanism, but it does look pretty cool. Now you do have something kind of similar on the legs here. You can take this big piece of armor and rotate that forward, and you've got a Minicon connector here. You can connect him, push it forward, and all three of the missiles fire out simultaneously. Now those are the only Minicon connectors that actually trigger gimmicks, but there are several more all over the figure. You've got a little compartment where you can store Minicons inside the leg. You've got a compartment to store Minicons inside the stomach, although I find this door falls off quite a bit. If you really wanted to, I guess you could take an extra small Minicon and put him inside here in the forearm, although that's really more for the hands to go into during the transformation. You've got a Minicon connector on top of each shoulder that actually has a little rotating feature there. And then you've got 6 Minicon connectors on each segment of the wing, with both wings that totals up to 24. And of course we can't forget the little Minicon that comes with the figure, Kranix. And even though it's not really Kranix, it's just a recolor of the Dead End Moon Minicon that originally came with the Armada version, it is recolored in Kranix's color scheme. And his shoulders can rotate 360 and his arms can come up, and he doesn't really have hands, he just has this thing. Although he's got a gun connected to his left arm. And his hips can go forward and back, and his knees can go forward and back, and his ankles can move around a bit. They're on a little ball joint. Alright, so that's about everything you can do with Unicron in robot mode. So let's get this guy transformed. Alright, first thing you're going to do is rotate these horns forward, and then flip the head back, all the way back, like so. Then I'm going to open up this little compartment on the forearms, fold the hands up, and flip them inside. The little blinking light always goes off when I do that. Going to bring this skirt armor down, like so. Then we're going to unhinge the shoulders, like so. Bring them down. Scooch in the shoulder armor. And everything's going to rotate a bit like this. Forearms are going to come right below the chest and connect together right there. Next up, I'm going to bring these big cumbersome parts forward and rotate them around like so. And when the two halves come together, you'll get something that looks a bit like that. Next up, we turn to the back and start working on these legs. I'm going to rotate these things around, and the legs are just going to come all the way back like so. We're going to fold up these feet by rotating the toes like so, and they're just going to come forward and go against the shins just like that. And then we continue folding the legs all the way back until you've got a nice, roughly spherical shape here. And the last order of business is to get these wings in place. So they'll just split into two different directions, and you'll see that each end will fold down, and they've got pegs where they connect together. And once you get everything done, this is Unicron's planet mode, looking very, very nice and menacing. And pretty much the only feature Unicron has in planet mode is the little planet chomping action. You'll just grab a hold of these horns, push them together, and the little teeth in the middle open and close like so. Now, of course, we can't forget Krennic's transformation. Basically, we're just going to fold him up a bit, like this. And there you go. Now he becomes a nice little moon for Unicron. And there's actually a little spot here that's kind of obvious that you can put Krennic's in right there. And I guess he could fold out his gun and shoot enemies while in this mode as well. So that about does it for my review of the new 2011 version of Unicron. I think this is a real... I've always liked this figure, actually. I liked it back in Transformers Armada days, and I just think it's a really good figure. It's a really good representation of Unicron. And especially now that they've remolded the head to be more accurate to the movie, even though the body's the same, the body was, fairly accurate in the first place. But just having the new head really, really makes this a nice figure. Plus, being in movie accurate colors really helps a lot too. He's not purple and yellow like he was in Transformers Armada, or, God forbid, green, black, purple, and orange like he was in Energon. So, he doesn't have great articulation, but then again, it's not bad. The hands have really good articulation, but I mean, he's posable enough that you can put him in some really nice poses, especially with how big he is. You can put him in some really nice poses fighting your other smaller Transformers. And he's got lots of nice gimmicks, the opening chest missile, the missiles on the legs, all the mini-con attachments all over him. The light-up hand and the light-up eyes are a really nice touch. And I just think it's a really, really good figure. I wasn't crazy about the metallic colors that Hasbro decided to use at first, but they are starting to grow on me. At first I was kind of more of a fan of the Japanese version using the light gray instead of silver, but like I said, the silver I think is starting to grow on me a bit. The retail price tag for this guy is $59.99, about $60. That's how much Amazon.com is charging him for. Charging for him, rather. If you're going to pick this guy up, I say go ahead and do it now. Get it from Amazon for retail price, because there's already people that are buying this figure and then reselling it on eBay and even on Amazon for like double the original price tag. So if you want him, go ahead and get him for retail price from Amazon. Or just wait for another reissue, because I'm sure this guy will get reissued again sometime in the future in maybe slightly different colors. So that about does it for this review, and with that, I'll see you guys next time.
Orbulus, look! It's Unicron! The ships! Get to the ships! It's our only chance!